Students, today I am going to explain you in grade 7 lesson, 10th lesson, in the fraction lesson, second part of the fraction lesson, right? So we'll see what are the contents in this part 2 lesson. Right. So in this part, I'm going to discuss what is mixed numbers and also improper fractions, right, students? So I'll explain what is mixed numbers. Right. See here apples. Right. So you can see here an apple, and here is a part of an apple. Right. So let's see. So this is a whole one. Right. So that is an apple. One apple. So that is whole one. So you can see this is a part of this apple, right? Part of this apple. So that means how to represent that one. So we can represent that one as a fraction. So that is a half of apple, right? So now I want to write the total quantity of the apples, right? So how to write the total amount of apples here, right? Total amount of apple here. So what you have to do, you have to add this one and these fractions together, right? So you have to add those two, right? So add. Now how to write this whole number and this fraction? So if you add those two, you get 1.5, right? So whole number here 1, here fraction is there. So if you add those two, you can write without addition 1.5. So this is how to read that one, right? So this is 1.5. That is how to read. So we call this one, that is mixed number, right? So whole number and fraction. Let's see another example, students. So here another apples, right? So you can see here nice apples. Here one apple, here another apple, here part, right? Let's see. So this is one apple, whole one. So this one also whole one, right? And this one, that is a fraction, that is half. Now same way I want to find total amount of apple, right? What is total amount of apple is here, right? So what to do, you have to add this one and this one and also this fraction. So that means if you add those three, right, here you can see 1 plus 1, so that is whole number. So 1 plus 1 means you get 2, then you have to add this half, right? So 2 plus half, so that means you can write 2 plus half without this addition here, 2 and half, right? So this is how to read that one, 2 and half. So those are mixed numbers. So I'm going to explain you another example for mixed numbers, right? So see here also apples, right? So you can see this is whole one, right? So an apple, this is a part of apple, right? So you can see what part, right? So you can see here, this is, if you cut one apple into 4 parts, so that is one part, so that is we call that 1/4, right? Now same way I want to write this whole amount of apples, right? So how to write this one and this 1/4 you have to add, right? So now one whole number, 1/4 fraction. So if you add those two, you can write 1 and 1/4, 1 and 1/4, right? That is mixed number, right? This mixed number. Now let's see another example, right? So you like breads, right? Bread, another bread and part, right? Now you can see here, this is a loaf of bread, that is 1. this is another loaf of bread, that is also 1, right? You can see this one, that is a half of bread, right? Now same way I want to write total amount of breads here. What to do? 1 and this half you have to add, right? So you can see here 1 plus 1, that is 2. You have to add this half, so that means 2 and half, right? So total amount of bread is 2 and half, right? That is how to read, so be careful. So that is mixed number, understand? That is mixed number, right? Okay. Right, now see some more examples about mixed numbers, right? More examples about mixed number. Now you know, students, in pictures I explain you mixed numbers. Now you can see here, this is my mixed number. You know how to read that one? 1 and 1/5, right? Whole number and a proper fraction, right? Let's see another one. 1 and 2/3, 1 and 2/3, so that is also another mixed number. Let's see another one. Whole number 3, right? Fraction 5/9. So how to read? 3 and 5/9, right? 3 and 5/9, so that is also mixed number. So actually what is mixed number? Let's see. So this is my fraction, so I take this one example here. Here you can see, right, this 3, right? So what is 3? That is whole number, right? So that is whole number. And this part 5/9 is what is? Remember students, that is a proper fraction. Proper fraction, right? So we learn about proper fraction, numerator less, denominator big, right? So this whole part, right? So that means whole number with proper fraction, that is called mixed number, right? That is called mixed number. So that is the mixed number you have to understand, right? Now let's see another example, right? Now we'll move to another part, that is students, uh, improper fractions, right? So I'm going to explain you using figures what is improper fraction, right? So let's see these pictures, right? So here pictures you can see bread, right? So this one you can see, this is not a loaf of bread, right? So that is half of bread, right? So that is half. I'll take another half of bread, right? So this is also half of bread, right? I'll take another one, that is also half of bread. Then I'll take another half, right? So that is also half of bread. Then I'll take another one, see here, that is also half of bread. Now you can see here all are, right, all are half of breads, right? So now as mixed numbers, now I want to find total amount of breads, right? So total amount of bread, right? So what is the amount of bread here, right? So in other way you can tell this half is one bread, like that, right? Now not using that one, I will take amount of bread here using these fractions, right? So let's see how. So how to write total amount of breads? So here 1 2 3 4 5, 5 halves, right? So 5 unit fractions, so we have to add those 5 fractions, right? So you know students, in addition of fraction, in addition, denominator should be equal, right? So you can see here, in all fractions denominator is 2, right? So that means you can write one denominator, right? How to add? You have to add the numerator here. 1 1 1 1 1 5 ones, so that means 5 over 2, right? So this is the total amount of bread here, right? Total amount of bread here as a fraction, right? So you can see a difference as learn early fractions here. What is the difference? Right? Here 5 numerator, 2 denominator, but 5 is big, numerator big, right? So that one is called improper fraction, right? So this fraction is called improper fraction, right? So you can understand. I'll take another example here, right? Let's see apple, right? So what is the amount of apple here, right? Amount of apple, so this is not half of apple, right? So you can see this is 1/4 of an apple, right? So this is 1/4 of an apple. So same way I'll take another 1/4 of apples, right? You can see all are 1/4 of apples, right? So this is all 1/4 of apple. Now I want to find total amount of apples here. Total amount of apple here. So that means this 1/4, 1/4, 1/4. You have to add all these 1/4, right? You can see how many 1/4 is here. Add, right? So if you add those all, then you get total amount of apples. So same way, denominator same, 4, numerator add, right? So there are 7 pieces, so that means 7/4, right? So that is improper fraction. Why it is improper fraction? 7 is big, right? 4 is less. Numerator big, denominator less. So that is improper fraction. Understand, students? Right? Students. So in the early examples, you see improper fractions. Now I give another more examples about improper fractions. So let's see. Our early example is 5 over 2, right? So you can see here, right, in 5 over 2, this numerator big, denominator less, so that is improper fraction, right? Let's see another example, 8 over 3, right? 8 third, so that means numerator big, 8 big, right? Then denominator 3, right? So that is also improper fraction. Let's see another one, 12 fifth, 12 fifth, so 12 big, right? Improper. Let's see this example, that is a special one. Why? 6 sixth, right? 6 over 6. So can you see numerator big? This numerator big, denominator less. But here numerator 6, denominator 6, both same, right? Both same. So that is also improper fraction. So that means numerator big, or numerator and denominator same, all are improper fractions, right? So let's see another one, 2 over 2, right? So that is also improper fractions, right? So that is also improper fraction. So let's see what is actually improper fraction is. So here you can see numerator and also denominator, so that means it can be greater, numerator greater than the denominator, or that can be equal, right? So in this 3 fraction, numerator big, numerator is greater than denominator, but in these two you can see that is equal, right? So it can be greater or equal. All are considered as improper fractions. Understand? So very easy.